Hey guys, this is Tommy Politics. Starting the show a little bit early. We still have a special guest, Willie Bragg, host of the Bragg Show, YouTube streamer, wonderful activist on anti-war, anti-racism, American Social Democracy, YouTube.com. Um, but right now I have Saucelin T. Manson with me from Remember, Jesus Loves You. I'll meet you at the finish line podcast on Spotify or wherever you find podcasts. Right now, he's the right, I'm the left. We're coming together for the common good. He's got some issues. I've got some issues as well. We're going to agree. We're going to disagree. How's it going, Saucelin, first of all? Good?
Man,
Welcome back.
well, oh, thank you. Hey, I'm glad that we're back in a better place instead of being like all spotty and all over the place and having technical issues. So it feels good to be back, fully back together and being coherent and not like being all over, like having Wi-Fi issues and stuff. No, it feels great. It's been a long time since I've been on your show, Tommy.
I mean, it hasn't been that long, really.
It has
Has it?
been a long to
It's been
me.
like,
Yeah, it has been quite a bit some time. About a month.
oh, really? Yeah. Maybe it has.
Yeah.
Maybe it hasn't. But I mean, news has been breaking. I'm going to bring Willie in a minute, but you have some issues. What's your issue, first of all? With the school
So
board?
yes. So if you reside in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, if you reside in Wisconsin, and if you reside in Milwaukee, today early in the morning, I shared this with Tommy Nation. I shared him the news where a district in Milwaukee, a school district in Milwaukee, voted on a 6-1 decision to start teaching sex education in the school district in Milwaukee, and it goes all the way down to the kindergarten. So that is something that I have a huge problem with because you can't be doing that's too young of a kids don't know better than that. They're kindergartners. They're kindergartners. They just are worried about nap time and recess time. That's just brainwashing at a super young age. I don't mind high school where it could be an elective, but kindergarten, come on.
But see, the kindergarten, aren't they already doing the Pledge of Allegiance? Aren't they already talking about the Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah,
That's
but you can't be
brainwashing.
teaching. Yeah, but you can't teach sex education and your gender stuff.
Who
I mean
says? Why
that's
not? So you had an
what.
interesting though, Jocelyn, about how somebody was abused because of their gender, and
Yes.
that's
So
why you care about this issue. That's
yes.
uh, what was that about?
So what happened was this individual that my family or my so my dad is a pastor and stuff, and he was taught very my this individual that did funeral and stuff in northern Wisconsin. He committed suicide. This young kid did who was 12 years old because he was being bullied by his own gender, and it was being. And if you're in the Eau Claire area, I'm sure you're familiar with what happened recently, and so it just shattered everybody's heart. See, this is a sad part, and this is why it reaches close to home to me, because that's too young of an age, and that you're confusing kids um, because they don't know better. And then you have kids that do come out and that do come out proud. They don't know how they other kids don't know how to respond, so they sometimes bully and sometimes suppress them. And that 12-year-old didn't know how to handle it. So the problem to that is that that leads to a mental and it's not mental illness, it's a struggle. But the sad part is that he took his own life because he couldn't handle the bullying and the harassment.
So you're saying he was taught? So I just want to see that I understand what you're saying. He was taught sex education, and that led him to understand his sexuality, and then he
Yes.
was bullied because of that. And
Yep.
so what you're saying is that we should just keep it out of the schools altogether. So he
I,
doesn't,
i'm not I'm not
or
saying we
what?
should keep it out. I'm not saying that we
Yeah.
should keep it out. It should be if your kid wants. So, for instance, in high school and in middle school, you have electives. Now, electives are classes that you want to take and you don't have to take. So they're like those electives. For instance, when I was in high school, I took welding. I didn't have to take welding. I could have taken another business class, but I decided to take welding because it's practical for later on. Maybe what happens if I like welding and stuff. But this individual, he didn't get an opportunity in the northern Wisconsin because it was being taught like in fifth and sixth grade in Eau Claire, and that's what the fuzzy gender came in, and that's what led that whole big school district up in Eau Claire to be a big mess. So he couldn't handle the problem to that is it was a huge problem and that it was too young of an age. I don't mind if you start it in middle school or in high school because that way the kids can decipher and they can say, okay, you know what? Maybe I don't want to, I don't feel comfortable with this. Like this cope a different way. Let's take a different elective. And for kids that do take the gender class, they, along with it, they should be able to get counseling for free, and should be able to go counseling when they're being suppressed or when they feel like they're getting bullied. They should be given counselors from the community, from social workers that come out within the community through the county and come in and help them through the transition that he or she wants to go through.
So this thing that was voted on, why can't they implement your process along with that whole sex education curriculum?
What do you think about my process? Though you didn't. What do you think? Do you think it's kind of whack out of the idea, or what do you think?
I
Like, do
think
you
that
think
you've
middle
thought
school
it
is a good
through.
age?
I don't think it's whack. I think
Do
that
you
you've
think?
thought it through a little bit.
But what
I
age
think it's
do you
logical.
recommend?
I'm not a parent, so I don't have a fight in this, and I never thought about it before. So my opinion literally would mean nothing to you. I mean, you're not a parent, but you, like you said, you have experience with this issue. I don't really think about kids at all. Okay, not grooming them, not anywhere,
Yeah.
not anytime. I don't ever
But
think
you're
about
not.
kids.
But the
I
whole
never
thing is
do,
that
never do.
what the
So,
whole thing is that what the whole thing is that it's not grooming them. You know,
okay,
it it's not grooming them. It's teaching them, and it's allowing them to accept their own selves. That's the thing.
I think that's good. That's good,
You know,
right?
and and the whole thing is that I mean, I don't know why they couldn't take it, and I've read throughout the article and stuff, and apparently that one person that voted against it, he said that there could have been different alternatives, and he even said himself that 6 year old or that 1 year old, not 1 year old, that kindergarten is way too young for kids to even start teaching it. I remember starting teaching. I remember health class in third grade and fourth grade and third and fourth grade. That's what I remember. Why can't you start teaching that at third and fourth grade level, not at kindergarten? Because kids don't know; they're going to forget.
So that's an interesting, good point. And when I was in third or fourth grade, I only knew that I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle, and Leonardo was that Raphael was rude, and Michelangelo was a party dude. That's all I remember. That age. We'll see what Willie Bragg has to say. We're gonna take
Yeah.
a little break, and I did have a what's up, good vibes. By the way, everybody, welcome to Tommy Nation Politics. Most of you are probably here for Willie. He's a very popular streamer. He's got like a lot of he's got a lot of followers. I saw his YouTube channel. Not as many as me, but his are real. We're gonna take a break.
So
We're
are
gonna talk with
yours.
Willie as well. So, I mean, a lot of them
Okay.
are. They're very quiet though. I'm glad y'all are here today. Free thinking, innovative, minded guys. Tommy Nation Politics. Free thinking, innovative, totally open-minded, new progressive independent media. Tommy Nation Politics. www.tommynationpolitics.com. And of course, you can always hit us up at facebook.com/TommyNationPolitics. Contribute to PayPal, Tommy Nation Politics, or Cash App, capital T, capital N, capital P, one word, Tommy Nation Politics. Follow us on Twitter and Discord, also Snapchat, Tommy Nation Poll. And here is the show, Tommy Nation Politics Tuesday live stream. Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?
If there were any lingering doubts about Donald Trump's hold on the Republican Party, they were erased Tuesday night. Liz Cheney, Trump's loudest and most persistent critic of the party, target of his vengeance campaign, went down in a landslide primary defeat. Liz Cheney's decisive loss means at least 8 of the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach him will be gone in the next Congress. And in state after state, candidates endorsed by Trump for governor, for Senate, and for other offices have failed in Republican primaries. They owe their nominations to Trump and their allegiance too. But as Trump tightens his grip on the party, the legal walls around him seem to be closing in. This week, a federal judge in Florida suggested he released portions of the affidavit used to seek an FBI search warrant for Mar-a-Lago. A criminal investigation, the Justice Department says, is, quote, open and in its early stages. In New York, Trump Organization chief financial officer going to Rikers prison after pleading guilty to a tax fraud scheme. Trump once called Alan Weisselberg a loyal employee and one of the toughest people in the business. Now he has pleaded guilty and has agreed to testify in a criminal trial likely to happen this fall against. And in Georgia, a flurry of activity surrounding the criminal investigation into the attempt to overturn that state's 2020 election results. Rudy Giuliani testifying grand jury, and Trump ally Senator Lindsey Graham is next after a federal judge rejected his effort to avoid testifying. And in yet another legal case, Trump pleaded the fifth, something he had before. Unformer President Cheney acknowledged she lost, while conceding to Trump's chosen candidate a political organization, an effort to vanquish Trumpism and to change power.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
Pelosi's DUI hearing. Paul Pelosi has just pled guilty to one count. The count was dismissed. He was sentenced to 5 days, and he served 2 days already, and he got 2 days for good behavior. That leaves 1 day left, but as I understand it, it will actually end up with no days in jail because they are written off as good behavior. He has to do this, though. There's an device on the car that he will have to use. He'll have to go to DUI classes. He'll have to pay a fine. We're not sure how much yet. Let me say that clearly, Kennedy. So he's sentenced to 5 days. He served 2. He got behavior. And the final day, he will not have to go to jail because there will be a court work program for that last day. So no jail time. Seems like a very generous deal for Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, and also 2 days, he was straddling midnight. So that's why he got the 2 days. He was really only in custody for about 5 hours.
Right.
And then he made left and probably got his very powerful spouse as a cautionary tale for the future. Anyone who wishes to abuse their privileges.
David, that's exactly what the citing that they're doing to ongoing, letters of court case. We can't see the dash cam. That's over. That use is done. So we should get the footage. What? Tonight? I mean, sometime.
When's Pelosi leave Congress? Maybe then we'll see the footage. Look, this is just burying the case.
Watkins got into line.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Today we have on the show Willy Bragg from the Willy Bragg Show, youtube.com/Ethic and Social Democracy, Saucelin T. Manson from Remember Jesus Loves You, Meet Me at the Finish Line, and also my co-host and Voice of Change podcast host, Jamarr Jabari. We're going to talk about the flaws in the fake. The flaws in the fake. The flaws in the fake. Flaws in the fake. But remember, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Trovo, or Twitch, make sure that you like, share, subscribe to this video. Make sure that we all get free thinking, innovative, and open-minded. And feel free to join in on the discussion because guess what? There is a chat on. And we all want to hear your opinions and views. Of course, opinions, views, they can all be hopefully backed up by critical data and thinking and analysis, not just ad hominem attacks. Those ad hominem attacks, guys, are not going to be put on the chat, nor are they going to be really regarded, because I don't really care about any ad hominem attacks. I only care about empirical data. I only care about facts, and I only care about the truth. So any ad hominem attacks, guys, just want to say before we begin, not happening, not going to be on the chat. You might as well just leave because you're not being free thinking, innovative, or open-minded. So why would you even be here unless you were just a joke? Speaking of jokes, guys, I have a joke. Well, This is gonna be from
$7.
for just $67, guys. Okay. So, guys, I don't know if you noticed it, Deb. It's midterms time. Speaker Pelosi, she asked me to chip in $14 yesterday.
And
I
now,
wanted you,
story
while
time
Mr. Pelosi
by
is
Tom
undergoing
Nation
his
Politics.
judicial activities, Nancy Pelosi decided that she was going to let me know that the speaker needs $14. So I thought that I'd read to you what she text messaged me. She's got a picture here. It's Nancy Pelosi. Of course, we need our special music to cover us. Let's see, elitist music. Ah, yes, hiding the joke. Let me see. It's Nancy Pelosi. Can you pay $14, Thomas? Thomas!
Toasty!
I'm in disbelief. In the wake of the Supreme Court's apocalyptic vote to strike down Roe v. Wade, Republican Senate is taking the lead, and our majority is plummeting. Herschel Walker is losing in Georgia. Ted Budd is losing in North Carolina. J.D. Vance is losing in Ohio. And Dr. Oz is losing in Pennsylvania. Oh, dear me. Ron Johnson is losing in Wyoming. And I need you to understand what this means, Thomas. It means if Democrats bring into action to flip those Senate seats, Mitch McConnell's hopes of regaining the Senate and eviscerating productive rights will be gone in an instant. So, I'm launching an immediate response to take advantage of this amazing swing. Democrats favor. Yes. Yes, of course. Democratic members have to put plans into action, Thomas. They must use their democratic reinforcements to critical races all over the country and prove that Democrats have what it takes to win. Can you chip in 14? Thomas, just $14 in this make or break moment. Just go to Pelosi for us, .Senate, hashtag $14 act blue. I mean every word what I say, Thomas. I mean every single word. Oh, Republicans have proved time and time again that they will never put America first. Never! This is why we are fighting so hard to elect Democrats who will fight for what we believe in. Reproductive health, democracy, and also us. Can I count on you? Thank you, Nancy. And P.S. Please, I need 10,000 members before night to bring into action. All the Democrats in the direction will be replaced by extremist Republicans forever. And that would be super horrible. As horrible as what we're doing now. It'd be almost as super horrible as Grammarly. That's all I have to say. Anyway, guys, that was my letter from Nancy Pelosi. Free thinking, innovative, and totally open-minded. This is Tom Nation Politics. And this is Tommy Nation Politics Tuesday live stream, brought to you by the ND News Network. Hashtag GetINN. Check out the link tree at linktree/Indie News Network. And I'm Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics, of course. Be free thinking, innovative, and totally open minded. Today we're going to talk about the flaws in the fake. To join the fight, always hit me up with messages, comments, concerns at the facebook.com/Tommy Nation Politics. And of course, you can always hit us up on our main website where we have documents, reports, blogs, and other fun, free thinking packages for you, my listeners. www.tommynationpolitics.com. Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. It's Tuesday, and we are free thinking, innovative, and open minded. I have with me Jocelyn T. Menson from Remember Jesus Loved Me, I'll Meet You at the Finish Line podcast. And of course, my very special new guest, WILLY BRAGG, who is a YouTube sensation streamer. He's an activist, anti-race, racism, anti-war, anti-poverty. We're going to have a little conversation about the issues today, and I hope that you join us on the chat. How's it going, Willie? How's it going, Jocelyn?
It's going pretty good.
I'm good.
I'm glad everything's working. Willie,
y'all can hear me well, right?
I can.
I can hear you.
So, Willie, I really enjoyed your take on the Brianna Joy Gray, and also the Namiki Const running for the New York Legislature Senate seat. It seems like you can spot out the flaws in the fake. We've got, of course, these progressives and civil rights organizations, labor unions that have urged President Biden's administration to provide large amounts of student loan forgiveness. That's the big thing that's going on today. Do you have any takes on the student loan forgiveness? The Biden administration has talked about $10,000. Is that enough? What's your take on student loan forgiveness?
No, it's not enough. I mean, I just think it's a given that college ought to be free. I mean, it is free in most places around the world, and if it's not free, it's pretty damn close to free. And it used to be in this country, while we never had free tuition per se, some states did, but it was at a reasonable cost. And now tuition and going to college, the price is escalating, and it's totally unnecessary.
It is very unnecessary. What's even more unnecessary are the establishment Democrats and their donors talking about how this is a school issue as well, Jocelyn, so jump in if you want. What do you think about student loan forgiveness? Because their donors are clearly saying that this might actually up inflation. Is that something that you think is accurate? I don't know.
Well, here's the whole thing that I personally agree is that you don't have to do student forgiveness loans. All you have to do is give special grants. For instance, in high school and stuff, if you want to go to a 2-year college or a technical school, that should be paid in full for free. That should be covered and paid. And so, for instance, if you want to pay, if I were to go in welding and if I were to go to Madison Technical College and I'm like, hey, I want to go welding and stuff, therefore, my costs would be covered for free. And all I have to do is just show that, hey, I'm willing to work in the workforce. And therefore, the government could give a grant to Madison Technical College to cover my education for free. I'd say I'm more towards grants. Give bigger grants to people. And if you want to go to a 4-year college, you should give more scholarship or more people accessible scholarships. For instance, if you are good on your education and if you make certain grades, that's how much money you get from the federal government. And for instance, for FAFSA, you should make the Pell Grants bigger, not reduce them. I'm all for increasing the Pell Grants and inside the Pell Grants. I'm all for expanding that because I don't want Sally Mae taking any more money.
But what about the people who already are involved with Fannie Mae and Sally Mac, Freddie Macs?
Yeah. Well,
like me. And I mean, the college degree will pay off, and I might be able to pay my student loans. Although it's been helpful not having to pay them for the past year. But this seems to be just like a political football. And what do you say? What do you guys say to all the people that already have student loans? The grants aren't going to do anything for them? Anybody? It's an open question. Willie, what do you think of this grant idea?
I'm for a simplified system of tuition free, just making it just making it so that when you graduate high school, you go to college if that's what you're qualified to do, or go to a community college. And honestly, I think that we have to bring back emphasis even in the public schools of vocational training, and maybe even some kind of an apprenticeship program with maybe even local businesses, and things of that nature to create a skilled workforce. They kind of do this in other countries, and I think it's something that we should do here. Of course, it would take some restructuring of the economy. It'll take kind of bringing back some protectionist practices, but I have no problem with that.
Yes, except the right wing has problems with protectionist practices because they want to deregulate everything.
yeah,
That's true.
Is that why you have,
yes.
is that why you want grants? Because you want it to be private money funneling through the student? Is that why, Saucelin?
No, I want it to be federal money, because if we're going to give $6 billion to Ukraine just for like what being just fueling a war, then why can't we invest in our own money? Why can't we invest in our own country? Let's think logically here.
I agree with that. I agree with that as well, and that just really segues it. Thank you for that wonderful segue, Saucelin.
Sorry. Hey,
That
I'm a realistic thinker. If you're going to give out money to, like, for instance, we shouldn't be giving $315 million to Palestine, all right? And then we shouldn't be giving out $1.8 billion to Russia so we can pay for OPEC and we can pay for other Middle Eastern oil. And we should
I
be
don't
investing our
understand
own.
why we are in the first place
Me
with
too. I
OPEC.
don't either.
They held us
Well,
hostage. They held the economy hostage. It was the president.
yeah,
They
and
did.
and they're Russia. This is why it's a proxy war. Why are we giving so much money? You know how much money we could have invested in our own country, into our own infrastructure, into our own buildings, and building like these solar plants and nuclear power plants. We could have built so many of the with the $2.3 trillion we've given to Ukraine already. Heavens forbid $6 billion. Let's worry about our veterans, and let's worry about, giving everybody at least another stimulus check of $2,400. I mean, let's think logically here.
It's funny how Nancy Pelosi in her text message told me that the Republicans are never going to put America first. Here we are. I don't know if you heard the news, Willie. It just broke today from Reuters, from AP, and from the New York Times that we're doing a 6-month anniversary package to the Ukraine, their biggest aid package yet. It's going to be at least $3 billion. At least $3 billion. Meanwhile, we don't have health care, a living wage. We haven't legalized marijuana, even though the whole Brittany Griner thing made the president cry, made Kamala Harris, a woman who locked up black people for smoking pot and laughing about it, made her write a tweet about how she should Brittany Griner should get off. Her crocodile tears, this administration's $10,000 student loan policy, it's fake. It's a fake flaw in a system where these are questions to you guys, but also I'm also a little angry, guys, because we as progressives and social democrats, Willie, what do you think about this? We haven't gotten anything done as far as our agenda, as far as the Bernie Sanders platform. Bernie Sanders had a platform in 2016. Hillary Clinton didn't have one. He had one. What do you think about our agenda? Think about our platform. Where do you think this progressive movement has gone?
Well, I hate to say it, but when Bernie Sanders bent his knee really in 2020, I felt like because he disliked Joe Biden less than he disliked Hillary Clinton, which is understandable on a personal level, but the movement died when Bernie Sanders gave up so quickly. And I think that force of vote was like one last chance to actually do something with regard to healthcare, but because there's basically a Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome that goes on with some personalities on the online left and some activists in the left broadly. We wouldn't go through with this forced vote, and they said, well, Nancy Pelosi could lose her seat, her speakership. Like, I'd give a rip if Nancy Pelosi loses her speakership. I could care less about protecting Nancy Pelosi.
She doesn't care about you. She's going to drive
That's
her
right.
Porsche right in your car.
Yeah.
She's going to drive her Porsche right into your car while being on drugs that was. I mean, these Democrats, they literally talk about how it's Russian bots while they bot you these text messages. They talk about how they're a threat to democracy while they're the ones going over to Taiwan for hookers and blow or whatever she went for.
And
Why
inside
didn't she
trading.
go there? They talk about all of these things. They're doing the exact opposite. They talk about how Republicans won't put America first. They're the ones giving aid packages to Ukraine, $3 billion. Well, we don't have health care, a living wage, a Green New Deal, or anything that they promised in their campaigns. How much enough is enough, guys? Daryl Houghton, welcome to the show. David Berger Sharon, welcome to the show. David says, I sound like a conservative today. I sound like a pissed off nonpartisan. But go ahead, Sauce.
Well, I tell you, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the whole thing. Okay, why can't, so I don't know if anyone heard of, saw the 10 drug prices in the Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, well, their Democrats are saying, oh, we did something great for the healthcare thing, for the healthcare system. Well, if you read into the bill, when those 10 drugs, which include like insulin and all that, when the prices go into effect, it goes into effect in 2026. Why can't it go into effect right now? They don't have any problem giving $350 million to Palestine overnight. They don't have a problem giving over money to like any other country.
It's the same trick they pulled about slavery. Oh, we're going to make slavery illegal in 50 years. This is the exact same trick.
And then not only that, but then after 2026, after the 10 get legalized or 10 drugs get like lower costs and stuff, then they're going to add 10 more drugs or 10 more medications off of Medicare and stuff in 2029. I mean, you want to talk about putting America last? The Democrat Party is double hypocrisy. I mean, I agree with you, Tommy. Why can't we be off of Bernie Sanders? But AOC, I think she seeks attention. So she'll say anything to get attention. She really doesn't have a platform. But Bernie Sanders has got the strongest platform. He's got a strong foothold. So I say piggyback of Bernie Sanders. She's got logic and reasoning. What do you think?
Well,
yeah, I think, Willie, you were saying something. Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm just saying that I mean, it's just I don't know what we're gonna do at this point, because I think that as I said, for 2024. I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to run again in 2024, and I think that they will probably try to do what they did in 2016, 20 and 2020 to him, and so I don't know I don't know how we could sit there and rely on a Democratic Party that pretty much is to the right of Boris Johnson's Tories in the UK. Boris Johnson's Tories are more progressive than the Democrats are here. I hate to say that.
I mean, it's true, though. They're not progressive. These guys are not progressive in any way. And going off of Soslin's point about AOC, she has literally been potty trained. In fact, potty trained her so hard that they're talking about an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez / Cheney ticket. For real, on the Hill.
Yeah.
It was reported
Yep.
on the Hill that they are literally going to go, and they're going to just totally throw away Kamala Harris. Because every time Tulsi Gabbard gets on television and speaks the truth about Kamala Harris, her approval rating dips worse than Joe Biden's. So the Wall Street, the military-industrial complex, and the banks have like completely ruled out Kamala Harris. She's had her chance. She laughs at the most inappropriate times. Ha ha ha, burn hits. Ha ha ha. I didn't write Medicare for all. I did. Oops. Border. Oh, I went to Taco Bell. I mean, none of her jokes are funny. And American people are suffering. So they're moving on to other people. And AOC is on the list.
Willie, what do you think about this? Willie, what do you think about this ticket? Tulsi Gabbard as a runner, as a front runner, and Bernie Sanders as vice president.
Actually, in 2020, I was a proponent of Bernie Sanders running and Tulsi Gabbard as the running mate at that time. I respect Tulsi, and I'm not like a politically correct person that wants to hold people accountable and cancel culture for every negative position, but she's taken some positions that I have been uncomfortable with since she dropped out. So I'm not, but at the same time, I'm not going to write her off because she's been so correct on foreign policy. That is the one saving grace she's got. I mean, like 95% of the time on foreign policy, she is so much better than everybody else. But the fact that they're talking about running AOC and Liz Cheney, that'll never happen. The Democrats will probably have Liz Cheney on the ticket, but they'll never have AOC on the ticket for the same reason they'll never have Bernie Sanders on the ticket. Because, again, I'm going to quote I'm going to quote Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore said they hated Ralph Nader because they gave us George W. Bush. Now they love George W. Bush and they still hate Ralph Nader. This is the Democratic Party in a nutshell.
But isn't that
correct?
But isn't it good though to like put Bernie Sanders as like the second running mate and Tulsi Gabbard? Because you need a person that has, like, if you're gonna run, I would want a moderate Democrat that's got logic, reasoning, and that can work with both sides. AOC, she can't work with her fiance right now because they argue about the dumbest things. And you also add, so I rather have Tulsi Gabbard as running because at least she can work on both sides. You know, she can work with the Democrats and she can bring that moderate votes because now you have more independents that are leaning more towards right. I wouldn't be surprised if the House, the Congress, gets lost by the Republicans because you have is so far polarized on each side. So Tulsi Gabbard, I wouldn't mind voting for because she at least is a centrist that can work both sides.
Tulsi Gabbard,
that's what makes her dangerous to the Democrats
Tulsi Gabbard,
and Republicans.
I don't know if Tulsi Gabbard could really work with both sides because she's kind of polarizing herself. She's hated by, I mean, she's loved by a strange group of people. I don't mean strange in a bad way, but she's loved by an unusual coalition, ideological coalition of people, but she's hated by an unusual coalition of people. The neocon Republicans hate her. The corporate Democrats hate her. The far left of the Democratic Party loves her. And some of the more libertarian leaning and paleocon leaning members of the Republican Party loves her. That's the weird relationship that we see.
I love it. I love her. I'm a far leftist and I love her. And I think it's funny that my libertarian friends love her. I think it's funny that Sauce likes her.
I love her.
I think she's a unifying
I like her. I like her.
The neocons and the conventional Democrats are the two people we need to get rid of. ASAP. Like ASAP.
What about Tom Yang? What about Tom Yang? Like what about the Forward Party, the new third party that Tom Yang and that Elon Musk are going together? And Yang, is that his name? Tom Yang?
Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang. Yeah. What do you think about Andrew Yang's new party, the Forward Party, which is like a new libertarian?
No, I don't like the party. I like Andrew Yang when he was proposing UBI, but Andrew Yang lost his way after he dropped out, and basically he ended up standing for nothing. And if you look at the Forward Party, they got some flying platitudes, but really what it is a political. It's basically a pro-stability party of corporate Democrats and corporate Republicans that wants to come in there and say, well, we're different because we get along. Well, you're going to put a third party that basically takes the basically polite people from both parties to create a new party to combat angry people from the two-party system that actually agree with the same crap that the polite people who are getting together with Andrew Yang agree on. I don't get it.
I don't get why he's still. I mean, he's weird, Andrew Yang. He's kind of rough around the edges with the whole it's math to propose a UBI, and then he'll talk about happy birthday, Henry Kissinger. You know, I'm just like, what is going on, guy? I just don't understand Andrew Yang. I really don't understand. Like, he's got great points, but then he like stands up for the worst people in the world.
Well, and he's got
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, Soslin. He's got.
Well, and then he's doing something right. I don't know what the party's standing on, but he's getting traction because he got Elon Musk to join the party and to get him funding.
That's another thing. That's another thing that's weird about Andrew Yang is Elon Musk is a billionaire, and the left does not like. I don't like billionaires. I know where their money comes from. It comes from the exploitation of labor. It comes from the funneling of wealth from us and the extraction of our resources. It comes from the outsourcing of our jobs in Malaysian sweatshops and Chinese Communist Party work camps. That's where his money comes from. So let's not get it twisted. And Andrew Yang is, yeah, you're right. So that's what scares me about Andrew Yang. But Daryl, everybody's making good points, by the way, on the chat. I want to say, y'all on the chat, yo, there's tremendous winning, good ratings. All the fraud squad is doing is trying to climb the career ladder, including Bernie. Unfortunately, that's what Daryl's point. Very good point, Daryl. I mean, Bernie's outlived his usefulness, just like Donald Trump has. Donald Trump, when he's got his house raided, talking about the radical leftists, and not even knowing history about how the FBI used to literally go after communists who were the radical leftists. Donald Trump literally just Bernie and Trump need to go. We need someone to run outside this two-party corrupt system. Now,
so does Joe
that's
Biden.
an interesting point. Like we just talked about, like Willie just talked about the whole Ralph Nader thing. It's a tough thing to do because these two parties are they're a monopoly. AOC, this is an interesting comment by David Bergeron. AOC is Donald Trump from 30 years ago. What do y'all think about that? Anybody have any comments about that comment? What do you think about AOC is from 30 years ago?
I do.
You think so?
There is a meme. There's a meme. I don't know if you've seen the meme where, you remember when Michelle Obama was tugging on George W. Bush due to Trump derangement syndrome several years ago?
Yeah.
Well, somebody altered a meme and put Donald Trump's picture over George W. They took George W.'s head out and put Donald Trump's head in, basically worrying about the next quote unquote fascist that comes into power. Well, I created one myself where instead of Michelle Obama hugging Donald Trump, is AOC hugging Donald Trump in fears of a Ron DeSantis presidency. Because I really believe that probably will likely happen, that when Ron DeSantis becomes president, that Donald Trump, because he has personality clashes with Ron DeSantis right now, he's probably going to kind of grift back toward a centrist or moderate or even a liberal direction. And the Democrats, being the shit libs that they are, they're going to go and rehabilitate him the way they rehabilitated George W. Bush and Liz Cheney.
I don't think Ron
Cheney,
DeSantis would run.
You don't think Ron DeSantis is going to win?
I don't know.
Check this out.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I was going to play a video, actually. Because, this is interesting. Check this out, guys.
Rebuilding between former President Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, two political allies who may one day become rivals.
They've been sniping at each other over the last few weeks, and the governor kept it going today. Our senior political reporter Michael Putney has the story from the newsroom.
Eden Calvin, today the governor once again refused to say if he has gotten a booster shot. Former President Trump says he got his and says any politician who refuses to say if he's been boosted is gutless.
A spectacular job in Florida.
There was a time not long ago when Trump and DeSantis had a bromance going.
It's a true honor to be standing here endorsed by the President of the United States.
Trump's endorsement helped catapult DeSantis to the governor's mansion. He returned the favor by praising Trump on Fox News and at his rallies in Florida.
Is Southwest Florida Trump country or what?
The falling out between DeSantis and Trump has been over vaccinations.
I've taken it. I've had the booster. Many politicians, I watched a couple of politicians be interviewed, and one of the questions was, did you get the booster? Because they had the vaccine. And they're answering it like, in other words, the answer is yes, but they don't want to say it. Because they're gutless. You got to say it.
Trump clearly was referring to DeSantis, who says he got one shot of J&J.
Have you gotten the booster?
So I've done whatever I did, the normal shot, and that at the end of the day is people's individual decisions about what they want to do.
The rift between Trump and DeSantis this week even reached the front page of the New York Times. And today, DeSantis kept it going when asked again if he has been boosted.
that's something that, I think people should just make their own decisions on. I'm not going to let that be a weapon for people to be able to use. I think it's a private matter.
Not private to Trump pal Roger Stone.
Here's my beef with Governor Ron DeSantis.
Stone's beef is beside the point. The point being, will DeSantis publicly say he won't run for president in 2024 if Trump does?
Ron is running for president, and with Fox's help, he'll beat you. DeSantis doesn't need you. He even came to New Jersey, just down the road from Bedminster, and didn't pay his respects. And there's nothing you can do about it.
The governor says he is just running for re-election. Mr. Trump has not said if he'll run, but reportedly told advisors he's waiting for DeSantis to say the magic words, which are, "I won't run in 2024 if you do." Might be a long wait. Michael Putney, Local 10 News.
You have a lot to talk about this Sunday. Looking forward to your show this weekend.
What?
Be building between former President.
Guys, there's trouble in paradise, guys. Oh my God, by the way. I just want to let y'all know that I love Republican primaries. These guys are monsters. They're soulless cretins. Even and they don't pretend about it. That's the great thing about Republicans, is they don't pretend to be evil, soulless cretins. You just heard the guy. He didn't even need your thing. They're so petty. Guys, it's the best television on earth. Swear to God.
2016 primaries was very, very entertaining. I mean, it was the best entertainment around. And I mean, it's not that I'm a fan of Trump, but I just love how he destroyed them all on stage. I mean, especially Jeb Bush. I mean, I love how he basically just went after Jeb Bush and Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, all of them. I mean, that was just beautiful entertainment right there. I mean, I don't have his politics, obviously, but I mean, I was watching. I was just like, I was laughing my ass off every time I saw Donald Trump do this. I was just, it was like watching Saturday Night Live.
I mean, it was true. The good, valuable thing about Donald Trump for the left is the fact Donald Trump eviscerated the Bushes. He destroyed the Cheneys. He did the things that the Democratic Party was supposed to do but didn't do. Trump did it. And that's what drives a lot of liberals crazy, is the fact that here we got a guy who they call a war criminal, who literally bombed the Middle East, turned the sand into glass for his own company, Halliburton, right, to enrich himself. They call the guy a war criminal. Now they're all hugging George W. Bush. They want Cheney to be on the Democratic ticket. It stinks to high heaven. It's hypocritical as hell. Here Trump on the other side. Like, these are the things that made me actually think about voting for Donald Trump. It was interesting. The only thing that, the fact that he always calls the radical leftist the problem. If Donald Trump actually got two brains, rubbed two brain cells together, and actually went after his enemies, because he doesn't. That's why he lost. He didn't go after his enemies, and his enemies crushed him. So that's why he's so busy blaming the radical left. His fucking enemies took his house. So that's why he lost. And y'all disagree or agree? What do y'all think?
I agree.
Well, I agree too. Well, I also agree on this because he put Garland back in. He appointed Bill Barr is the one that appointed Garland to be the FBI and stuff. And not only that, but he's going after Mitch McConnell, Moscow Mitch. And and that's the whole thing, is that you need to go after more of these so-called conservatives that are if I were President Trump, okay, I would filter out the Cheneys, I would filter out everybody else. For instance, Scott Walker and Paul Ryan and stuff, they were the so-called Republicans. I would filter them all out. And I would also filter out and build a brand new base. And then I'll work from there. But I'm not Trump. And apparently I don't have Twitter, so I can't go after anybody.
Okay, I don't have Twitter either, though.
You got Truth Social, though. I don't have.
How is that? Is that work? Is that good? Is that a good social media site? Twitter
it's a Truth Social. It's good. You can't message on it, but he's got pretty good following on there. I mean, he's better than what Elon Musk said. And President Trump was right about Elon Musk, about how he's not going to retain Twitter. And sure enough, Elon Musk is going to be inside the courtroom on October 17th at 8 a.m. in the 9th District. Twitter versus Musk. So he was right on that.
That's going to be an interesting case. Is it going to be as exciting as the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, do you think?
Oh, I think so. What do you think? Well,
I
it's
think
gonna be
so.
interesting.
I'll be watching.
Well, I want to know about the bots. Like the bots that like the whole big problem with the bots. I want to know about that. If that actually was true or not.
Uh, yeah, I agree with you. I want to know
Willie,
what
what
the
do you
bots do.
think?
What do you think,
Oh,
Willie?
about the bots?
Yeah.
Oh, what Russian bots?
No, like on Twitter, like Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
The
the
whole
Twitter
him being
bots.
fiasco.
taken off
The
Twitter,
Elon. Yeah,
or Elon Musk buying Twitter?
both of them.
Both.
Well, I'm a free speech absolutist, and I've always been a free speech absolutist. Something that I think that the mainstream left walking away from is going to bite them in the ass down the road. But I think that taking away his Twitter was really dumb, and it was basically performative. On top of that, and as far as these Russian bots and things of that nature, that's a lot of conspiracy junk. I mean, I'm not a fan of Putin, but at the same time, I'm not. I think there's too much anti-Russia hysteria that's going on to the point where I just, I'm just like, people don't look at the Russia-Ukraine war with any nuance, and that, the United States is kind of funding Nazis within the Ukraine. And I try to tell them
There's Nazis in Idaho. What do you mean? There's Nazis in Idaho, Willie.
No,
there's
Cougar.
Willie,
yeah.
Willie, we're talking about the bots that like caused Elon Musk to pull from Twitter because Twitter wouldn't disclose the information. That's what caused the whole thing to go to court on October 17th. We should
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, we're talking about the.
I mean, I don't know about Willie, but I am very much into the whole. They're robbing, taking our money, and they're fucking funneling the wealth of the 1%. So these Twitter bots and Elon Musk's little playtime, I wasn't thinking about either. So I don't care about bots on Twitter. I think Twitter should burn. Twitter's lame and
Yes.
really dumb.
Willie,
We
what are
have
your
social
thoughts
media
on it?
platforms. I don't give a shit. I will say
Yeah,
this.
I didn't. Okay.
I'll
Oh,
go
I
ahead,
didn't
Willie.
really think about it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about the bots with regard to Elon Musk on. I didn't even really think about that. So I thought you were referring to something else.
You know what's funny about the Russian bots, though, Willie, is that every time black people ask for reparations or something like that, the right calls us commies, and then the left calls us Russian bots because they don't want to fucking give us reparations. It's always a distraction. These bots, bro. They don't want to listen to regular people. They just want to fucking divide and distract. And this is what these bots are for. No matter whether Russian bots, or they're Elon's bots, or they're Twitter bots, all these bots are here to do is distract us and lie, right? Lie about the numbers, about the views. They're just lies. So, and speaking of lies, Daryl says I enjoyed Trump's press conference, president. Now, Daryl, you have to remember this.
Sorry,
You
that's
have to
funny.
remember this. This president forgets whenever he shakes a hand, and then he shakes hands of ghosts. He walks away when he's not supposed to walk away. This guy is exciting too. Okay. In fact, his press conference secretary, when he got COVID twice, and they talked about the booster. I mean, these guys are the same person. How are they not the same person, bro? How is Trump? Okay, so this is my final question to you guys. How is Donald Trump and Joe Biden not the same person? Go ahead. They got the boosters. They love the wars. They like the law and order, right? Crime bill. How are they different?
They love the cages.
They love the cages. How are these people not the same guy?
One likes ice cream and the other one likes Coke. That's what.
Oh, Saucelin. All right, guys.
I gotta put that in there.
That was perfect. It was Diet Coke, though. It was
Diet Coke. Well, Trump likes McDonald's, though. Trump likes McDonald's, and then Joe Biden likes ice cream from ice cream trucks. And once you hear the ice cream bell, he's rushing to the next.
Hey there, look, Jack. Look, Jack, did you get the last icy? And then he says something about Indian people in 7-Eleven, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then he also said something about the Mexican people, how Joe Biden called them tacos.
Oh my gosh.
Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, you can't be talking about that. you talk about a party that's like gotta be careful with not stereotyping people. You want to talk about hypocrisy? That is at its finest.
You ain't black if you think that, Soslin. You ain't black.
I know.
This guy's full of them, bro. No, but look, I'm not Trump. I'm not that guy. That we can talk about everything that Trump did. Joe Biden did even worse. So I don't get it. I don't understand why conservatives don't love Trump. I love Joe Biden. You want small government, guys? Here's basement government, huh?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, y'all remember
Law and Order? Here's a crime bill, right? In Psycho. I love it.
You both might be a little bit younger than. You both might be a little.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You both might be a little bit younger than myself, but I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Senator Jesse Helms, but he was very good friends with Jesse Helms when Jesse Helms was alive and a U.S. senator, and Jesse Helms was a senator from North Carolina, and he was a segregationist before he became a senator. I mean, he was still a segregationist when he got elected in 1972, but he never gave that up, and he was very forthright about his. He never gave up his segregationist point of view. And anybody who ever called Jesse Helms a racist, a lot of Republicans just say, "How dare you call this man a racist?" And they just got angry when people called Jesse Helms a racist, but he had a racist history. He was a member of the Raleigh City Council in the 1950s, and he campaigned as a segregationist, and he worked for a Dixiecrat named Willis Smith, who defeated Franklin Porter Graham in the 1950 primaries in North Carolina. Senator Franklin Porter Graham, who was one of the few Democrats in the South that was for civil rights, a New Deal Democrat, and Jesse Helms played a role in having him defeated. And Jesse Helms was like the worst kind of segregationist, because even segregationists then were kind of vaguely supportive of New Deal liberalism. Jesse Helms supported the economics of Robert Taft, which is kind of a juxtaposition, because Robert Taft, being a Republican, was very, very progressive on race issues, which is really, that's just a weird thing. So yesterday's Dixiecrats became today's Republicans. Not that the Democrats are all that great today, but I'm just saying.
Not all Dixiecrats, Willie. There's one Dixiecrat that stayed Democrat, and his name is Joseph Robinette Biden, the 40th president of the United States. Well, guys, we're at the top of the hour. This was a fun conversation. Oh, by the way, legalize marijuana nationally, and we could solve our inflation and recession crisis. I just solved 3 issues. Correct, David. David's a genius, bro. David's a genius. In the word of George Carlin, it's one big club and you're not in it. Try to the same club members. Daryl's a genius. And then Snipe Hunt Master says that. I agree. So I think we all agree, guys. Maybe some of us are right. Maybe some of us are left. So either we hang these guys from the trees like our founding fathers, or we just stop voting for them. I don't know. But I like your ideas, guys. How come we can't have any of these? How come we got to get $3 billion to Ukraine instead of any of this? Any of these things we mentioned, guys, have you noticed that? Like, none of it's happening. It's all just aid to Ukraine. I swear to God.
Military-industrial complex.
We can't let this happen, guys. I just want to close on this. We cannot let this happen. They think that they could just do whatever they want. They got a super majority. Members are on the way. Both parties, by the way, they're going to vote for this. I know they are. We've got to call Washington. 222-456-1111. That's the White House number, guys. 256.
What happened, Willie?
I think that this happens sometimes when I interview people on my program. There's a glitch or something, probably internet connection. Probably will come back. It's happened.
Hey, did you get my message on Facebook?
I don't know. I mean, I got up a little while ago, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I will check it though.
Okay. No, so what do you think? Okay, what is your stance on what Milwaukee did today? One of the school districts in Milwaukee with that 6-1 decision regarding the gender, teaching the gender at kindergarten now.
I don't know the specifics of it.
So, like for instance, so you know how they're teaching like sex education. They're teaching sex education at kindergarten
Y'all
level.
hear me?
So, what do you think about that?
Oh, he's back.
Bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, that was definitely president.
What happened?
I don't know, but as soon as I started talking about the White House, like I got dipped out, bro. That was creepy. As soon as I started talking about the White House, bro. Did y'all hear anything I said about Ukraine and the White House?
Yeah, you just kind of paused and then you disappeared.
Yeah, and then
I just telling Rosalind there that every time I interview, sometimes when I interview people, we have an internet connection problem, so it happens.
Okay, it's not okay. It's because I'm a conspiracy theorist. I feel like that was the president just now. He just pulled my plug.
With the ice cream? He probably spilled the ice cream on the server.
I know he probably did. He looked jacked. You to pass this Ukraine aid bill. They need to agree one thing, at least one thing from the Democrats before they do anything else for Ukraine. We need them to at least fulfill one of. Come on, is that too hard to ask? Is that too hard to ask, guys? One thing, just one thing before they give any more aid to Ukraine. We can't let them do this, guys. We can't just keep rolling like this, guys. It's kind of sad. It's very sad, guys. But we're top of the hour, and it was great fun. I invite both of you all to be back on Top of Nation Politics any Tuesday, every day, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Jesse Jett is next at the ND News Network lineup, and he's a great guy. I don't want to steal his shine, so I want to make sure I'm off. But any last words, Willie?
I appreciate coming on. I enjoyed this chat, and I enjoy talking with you both. And if either one of y'all ever want to come on my program to chat and discuss politics, just drop me an email on Facebook or on Twitter, and we will get this thing set up.
Awesome, Jocelyn. Anything for you?
So I want to say thank you so much for the opportunity that I was given. And if anyone wants to follow me, I do. I've been starting doing interviews. So we've been doing interviews of what Wisconsin's been happening in the midterms. And again, we had a wonderful interview with Jonathan Wickman, who ran for lieutenant governor but lost. And we discussed the two-party system in Wisconsin. If anyone wants to follow my podcast, it's called Remember God Loves You, and I'll meet you at the finish line. And you're welcome to follow me on Facebook. And you guys have a blessed day. Thank you, Mr. Tommy. We'll hopefully be back next Tuesday.
Yeah, you can come back any Tuesday. You too, Willie. I'll be on your show. We'll get that ironed out. You guys, the innovative, open-minded. Jesse, you're